Teenspeak gathered questions from teenagers who've had experience of domestic abuse and asked them to the people who have power to make a difference. Here's what they had to say. How does a judge make decisions for children and their families to come to court?
The judge doesn't make a decision that they should come to court. If there is an argument between parents about where a child should live after the parents have split up, we call that private law, and we have to make decisions if one or other parent makes an application to the court, decisions as to where the child should live, what contact the child should have with the other parent. Public law is where local authorities intervene in order to protect children, and they make an application to the court. And we have a thing which we call the welfare checklist, which we have to go through in every decision we make for a child, balancing all the information that we have about the child before we try to arrive at the decision which is in the child's best interests.
Does what I want matter to the courts, or do they only talk to adults?
The law says that your wishes and your feelings have to be taken into account in just the same way as any adult in a court situation. The 1989 Children Act says the interests of the child shall be the paramount consideration. So it's not even that you come second or third, you're supposed to come first.
Article 12 of the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child says that a child is entitled to hold an opinion, is entitled to have an opportunity to express that opinion, and is entitled to know that everybody, including the judge, will take that opinion into account. That is not the same thing as saying that the judge will do what the child wants them to do, but it's very important we should hear what children have to say. We usually hear through a guardian or a court welfare officer, having met the child and prepared a written report to the court on what the child is thinking. But more and more judges are meeting with children, and I meet with a lot of children because I think it's very important that they should feel involved in the process.
What if the courts make a decision about my family but it doesn't make things better?
Well, if a court order is made and it doesn't make things better for you or the person on the receiving end perhaps of abuse, then it's always possible to go back to court and get another order that might make things better.
Nobody should need to suffer in silence, and nobody should need to live with a decision that was the wrong decision. So you do have the right to go back.
My mum and dad aren't together anymore, and my dad is really angry. He sends me horrible texts and calls me horrible names and yells at me in public. Can the courts make me see my dad if I don't want to?
Well, the courts will be very, very concerned that you're safe and that you're comfortable and that you're cared for and that you're happy. And that type of behaviour is not acceptable. And actually, if it became extreme, you could tell your mum or a teacher or a police officer, and it would be possible for them to get what's called an injunction order to stop that behaviour from continuing.
If you've got a 13, 14, 15-year-old who is adamant that they don't want to see one parent or the other, it's very difficult for anybody to say that they must. We know how important it is for a child to understand that they have two parents, and how important it is to try to retain a relationship with both of those parents, so long as it's safe. Of course, if there is evidence that suggests it's not safe, then maybe we wouldn't demand that they should see that parent.
And finally, is there anything you'd like to say to young people about courts?
Don't be afraid of courts. We're here to help. But we can only help on the basis of the information that we're given. And we don't have magic wands. We can't make everything come good. We can only do the best. And we do work very, very hard to try to do our best with the information that is given to us.
Thank you very much.